Hi, I'm Chatty Maddie, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're in front of the bookcase again, and that is because we are going to be reviewing another book. This book. And this book has been turned into a movie, so we are not only going to be reviewing this, but we're going to compare it to the movie and see how it held up, I guess. But before we get into that, be sure to subscribe if you're new here and turn on bell notifications so you do get notified every time I post a new video. Alright, let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the plot and the characters, and then I'll compare it to how it was in the movie. Alright, so let's start. Let's go. Let's just go. Let's talk about the plot. Alright, so this book is about a girl named Samantha Kingston. She is popular. She has good friends. She has what she thinks is a great boyfriend. We'll talk about that more later. But yeah, she has a great life, and she goes about her normal. So this book's about a girl named Samantha Kingston. She thinks she has a pretty great life. She's popular, and then she's just going about her normal day, and then at the end of the day, she ends up dying, and then she wakes up the next morning, and it's the same day again. She ends up repeating that day 7 times, and the book is just basically about that, and she tries to figure out why and what she needs to do, and it's just really great, and she learns a valuable lesson along the way. Alright, now let's get into characters. So the main character, obviously, is Samantha Kingston. She is the main character. She is I'm dropping the book. Okay, put that there. She is the main character. She's popular. She has 3 main best friends, and she has this popular boyfriend. She didn't always used to be popular, though. She used to be not popular. Now she is, and she thinks it's better to be popular than to not be popular. Yeah. Okay, so she has 3 best friends. She has Lindsay, Allie, and Elodie. Elodie? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Lindsay first. Lindsay is so interesting because she can come off kind of like offensive or mean sometimes, but I think Lindsay is just like the fiercest person you could meet, I guess, in this book. She stands up for her friends. She stands up for herself. She is pretty great. But sometimes she could be borderline, like, too much, And then you have Allie and Elodie, and I just always get them confused. They're all very, like, similar, because they're all popular, but they all have different traits as well. Yeah, Allie is another one of Samantha's friends. She's very, demure, I would say, I feel like, in the book, but I don't know. That's how I feel. That's what I remember her character being like. I remember her being more, like, inquisitive about life, And then Elodie's just like this wild girl. That's how Elodie is. Okay. Alright, so that's the 4 main friends in the book. Let's talk about Samantha's boyfriend. Samantha's boyfriend is kind of important. His name is Rob. He's popular. I don't like him. Okay, he's not nice towards Samantha. I mean, like, the thing is, he's like phony, He pretends to be nice, but all he really wants is he wants the sex. It's not okay. The only reason he's nice to Samantha is for that. Okay, another important character is obviously Juliet. And she's a very important character in this book. And the movie as well. I don't want to, like, say too much about her character. Because, like, spoilers, but, She, is basically, like, the outcast. They all call her Psycho because they think she's very weird, I guess. But, interestingly enough, Juliet used to be best friends with Lindsay back in elementary school. But they broke up for reasons I will not say. Just because I don't want to spoil too much. I just want to get the general lay of the land for this book, but I don't want to spoil too much, so I'm not going to say what happened between them. But also, Julia, I guess, feels so disconnected from everybody else, and something happens to her character. I'm not going to say what, though. I don't know. But yeah, so her character is she's just a very important character. It's like her actions are a huge driving force in this story. So, yes. are some minor characters as well, like Sam's family, her mom, her dad, her sister. Her sister's so cute. She has like a little lisp, and her mom's kind of important. There's some development there. That's great. The last character I'm going to talk about is the character named Kent. He is amazing. I love Kent so much. He's so sweet. But yeah, he's basically like dorky kid at school, I guess. He works on the newspaper. He makes drawings, at least in the book he does. We'll get more into that in the second part here. But I don't know, and he used to be friends with Sam, but now that Sam's popular, she's kind of like discarded him. She's like, I don't want to talk to him, you know, but he still tries to be there for her, and it's really sweet, and I love him. Yeah, he's so cute. Oh my gosh. So now we're going to talk about the book versus the movie, and we'll talk about the differences and the similarities. But the first thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about the differences in the plot between the movie and the book. Alright? Alright. I wrote down some notes in my trusty old notebook, to the moon and back, to the moon and back. Because what am I going to do without notes? Nothing. So, here we go. Yes. I wrote it back here, I think. Yes, it is. Okay. So, the first difference that I really noticed from the movie and the book is in the beginning, obviously. So, in the book, in the movie, it's Cupid Day, that everybody gets roses. You know, they send roses, they get roses. I think it's like Valentine's Day or something, right? Or it's almost Valentine's Day, so they call it Cupid Day because they're getting roses. I don't know anymore. But so they decide, the four friends decide that they will wear matching outfits in the book. In the movie, there are no matching outfits. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But it's still a thing that happens, and I wanted to mention it. When they went to the party on the first night, they stayed a good bit, but when they left wasn't when they left in the book. Originally, in the book, the scene happened with Juliet, and then it skips some time, some other things happen, then they leave the party. In the movie, the scene happens with Juliet, and then they kind of just run out of there. So that's another difference from the movie and the book. That's another difference I noticed. So another difference is on, I think, the third night, when Sam says they should all just stay in that night, they shouldn't go to the party, and so they're sleeping over at Allie's house, I think. And that is the night when they find out what happened to Juliet, and they find out that Juliet has died. She's killed herself. But the way they found out in the movie is different than how they found out in the book. In the movie, they all got like a text or some sort of message, like maybe social media, I don't know. I don't remember. But in the book, the mom got a call from in the house, and then she came downstairs and she told them. And I think this is okay. I'm okay with that because, you know what, it doesn't change the plot too much. And also, it makes sense because maybe the movie is a little bit newer than the book, and that's just how things would happen nowadays, you know? So I'm perfectly fine with that as well. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Okay, so on the fourth day, that's just when Sam's basically just given up, right? She's just so mad at everything, and she's taking it out on everybody. But she does still go to the party later, and she's supposed to show up. In the book, she shows up with these like three other people, I think. One's named Tara. I don't remember the other two, but her friends, they call them the Pugs. But in the movie, she shows up by herself. Which I get, because it's a movie and you can only put so much in it, and if you start adding more characters, then it's just, you're not gonna have enough time to do the other important stuff. So that I understand, I'm perfectly fine with. We'll get into the other characters thing in a moment when we talk about characters. So, and I say that, but like, in the movie, this is another thing I forgot to say. In the movie, there are a lot more. It feels like there's a lot more repeats of the same day happening than there is in the book. In the book, there's obviously only 7, but there's like in the movie, it starts to feel like it's just happening multiple times over and over, like so many that we just can't count because there's like this montage scene. But Yeah, so I'm just going by, like, after the montage scene, what number it would have been, and also what it was in the book. So on the fifth night, the fifth night at the party, it kind of combined scenes in the book from, like, other nights, and it just wasn't in the right order either. It was kind of weird, but I think it still got the point across. In the movie, I think they kind of tried to combine the fifth and the sixth night. I guess just for timing, so everything would fit. And, I mean, it still kind of worked, but I just want to talk about how that was different than the book. So now that we talked about differences between the movie and the book concerning the plot, now let's talk about the similarities. So, basically everything else was the same in the movie. I don't really have anything specific. The changes they made were so minor that the movie was basically the same as the book. The point got across, the plot was still the same. But there was one thing that I did write down because I thought it was really cool. Give me a second. The opening quote from the movie is the same quote that's in the book. And, well, they're not exactly the same, but they're pretty much the same. Here's the quote from the movie.
Due to copyright, I can't actually include the scene, but I'll upload some what she says right here. Okay?
Writings on the wall inside my head, inside of me. Holding all these thoughts beneath my skin, can you believe it all? Writings on the wall inside my head, inside of me. Holding all these thoughts beneath my skin, can you believe it all? Writings on the wall inside my head, inside of me. Holding all these thoughts beneath my skin, can you believe it all? Writings on the wall inside my...
And now I'll tell you what the quote is from the book. I sticky noted it because I didn't want to lose it. I feel creepy when I did that. Okay, so maybe you can afford to wait. Maybe for you there's a tomorrow. Maybe for you there's 1,000 tomorrows, or 3,000, or 10. So much time you can bathe in it, roll around in it, let it slide like coins through your fingers. So much time you can waste it. But for some of us, there's only today. And the truth is, you never really know. There's a little bit more. The thing is, you don't get to know. It's not like you wake up with a bad feeling in your stomach. You don't see shadows where there shouldn't be any. You don't remember to tell your parents that you love them, or in my case, remember to say goodbye to them at all. If you're like me, you wake up 7 minutes and 46 seconds before your best friend is supposed to be picking you up. You're too busy worrying about how many roses you're going to get on Cupid Day to do anything more than throw on your clothes, brush your teeth, and pray to God you left your makeup in the bottom of your messenger bag so you can do it in the car. If you're like me, your last day starts like this. So I think they're pretty similar. And I thought that was pretty cool how they did that. I think they changed a few things. I don't know why exactly. But everything else, pretty much the same. And yeah, and like I said before, the plot changes they made, so minor. I think the plot still got across very well. And yeah, but now let's talk about characters. Alright, so characters. There is a list of characters in the movie that they left out from the book. There is, I think about like 5 characters they left out. There's Sarah. She is somebody that's on the swim team. She's not too important. It's just something that happened like basically every morning. They would go back. It was like, because they were kind of late, so either they would get the parking spot at the last second, or Sarah would end up staying in the parking spot. So that was something that was just happening like every morning, every time the day repeated, you know. So it wasn't like that important. She wasn't that big of an important character. Then there was Mr. Shaw. I think he was like the gym teacher or something. And then there was Miss Winters, who I think was like the vice principal or something like that. And then there's Alex and Bridget, which they did not include because in the movie they made the character Anna gay, which is fine. I think that's great, actually. Inclusiveness is amazing. But because of that, obviously you can't include Alex and Bridget, because Alex and Bridget and Anna were kind of like in a love triangle thing, I guess. I don't know if I would call it that, but they were, yeah, I don't know. But I get it, you know, you don't want to include too many characters because then you don't have enough time to focus on the more important stuff, like Samantha and her story and her friends and all that, so that's fine. So those are just some characters that were left out with the movie, and thus some scenes were different, but overall, I think the movie pretty much was the same. Like, and I think like it was fine they took Alex and Bridget out because Samantha's character had more of a connection with Anna in the book, I think, than Alex or Bridget, so that made sense that they took them out. Yeah. Oh, also because Anna was gay in the movie, they changed. There was this thing that Lindsay had done where she wrote something on the bathroom wall or the stalls, the bathroom stalls. She wrote something on the bathroom stalls about Anna, and it was like AC equals WT, and it was like Anna Catharlo, I don't remember her last name, equals white trash. But in the movie, they changed it to BD, which is things I don't want to say. So, yeah, because of the character change, they changed that as well. So, yes. But, I mean, not a big deal. Okay, since we're still on the topic of Anna, let's talk about the Anna and Sam bathroom scene, right? I mean, come on. No? But yeah, so there was a scene in the book where Sam ran into Anna in the bathroom, and she's smoking. And I don't know, I feel like in that scene in the book, they really, like, bonded, and they just talked about some important things, I guess. I don't know, there was some interesting things happening between the two characters. Like, they bonded in a way that they never would have bonded before. But in the movie, this scene still happened, but I don't feel like it was as fully fleshed out as it was in the book. It felt a little bit more rushed to me. But I think the overall impact of it was kind of the same. I don't know, they still had this moment where I think they just, like, got each other. And I think that was, like, the most important thing that we could get from that scene. So, yeah. Oh, okay, now let's talk about Juliet's character. Okay, so Juliet in the movie is just not how I imagined her being from the book. I mean, she looked pretty, she looked the same, you know, but the way she acted, she was just, like, in the movie was a little too intense for me. Like, because in the book, the way Sam describes her, she just describes her being so calm and serene, even though she was saying such, like, drastic things. Like, she's still so calm about it, and only every once in a while does she start to show emotion, and I think that was really interesting. But I think they just did that to get, like, their point across. Like, this girl is troubled, this girl is not happy, you know. And I think just for movie wise, I think that was, like, the best way for them to get that across, you know. The next character we're talking about is Mr. Delmar, I think. So in the book, this isn't, like, a major thing, the first thing, so everything's kind of major, but so in the book, he was a math teacher, but in the movie, he was a history teacher, and it's not that big of a difference, really. I mean, he's still the teacher, which was what was important, and yeah. But the one thing I am upset about is, like, that kissing scene wasn't in the movie, and I know that it was terrible she kissed her teacher, but the thing is, I think that provided for some great, like, character development and just great, I don't know, like, as soon as she did it, she realized, oh, this is wrong. This is not what I wanted, you know? And I think that was a great moment. But they didn't include it in the movie. I don't know. Alright, now these last two are just, I don't know, simple things. So, the first one, I'm going to talk about Kent's note. Because in the movie, he, like, literally wrote, like, a little poem, I think. But in the book, he drew her, like a funny picture, like a cute little funny picture, but I don't know, it was, like, okay, I guess. I don't know, I don't know. I think the reason they did the note thing was because the note in the movie, I think the reason they did the note thing is because in the movie it says, I see through you, or I see you, I don't remember. And that was a line he said in the book to her. I know my voice is getting like sorry, my voice is going. Yeah, I know that was a line he said to her in the book, and I guess they wanted to get that, like, across, and maybe they didn't have time to do that whole scene in the movie, so they just were like, yeah, we'll just do this. I don't know. Or maybe they just wanted to, like, drive that whole thing home, like, he sees her. But at the same time, it's kind of creepy. Like, to be like, I see you. I see through you. Or this is, I don't know anymore. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about was that song concerning Sam in the book and the movie. Okay, so in the book, it's, look. I want to do this old-fashioned way. Well, the new-fashioned way. Alright, so I had to look it up. I couldn't find it in here. But I looked it up. And so the quote in the book is, "What's red and white and weird all over? Sam Kingston." I guess that's how they say it. I don't know. But that's what the quote was in the book. And I was just like, that's a little weird, but whatever. So then in the movie, it was actually this.
Hi, so as I'm editing this, I've realized that I actually can't find a clip of this, so I'm just gonna tell you myself. It's, "She smells like manure and lives in a sewer. Samantha Kingston." Alright, back to the video.
Whatever. That's fine. I digress. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually not a big video. Like I said before, I'm literally fine with these differences because, like, the point of the book still got across in the movie, so these differences I'm fine with. Alright, but now that we're done with those differences, let's talk about some similarities. Like, for real. What else can I say except that they did a great job with this movie, and I think basically everything was the same. Everything else was basically the same. I mean, I loved how in the book and the movie, even though Samantha changed, you know, she developed into like a better person. She realized she like didn't give up her friends. She kept her friends because she realizes that everybody's human, nobody's perfect, and she saw the best qualities in them, and I think that was so good. And I loved how Sam and Ken's relationship was represented in both the movie and the book. It was super sweet. And it wasn't like rushed or weird or anything at all. It could have been something that was like rushed and weird, but I think they didn't, and I think they did a great job with it. I don't know. Because they stayed true to the book, and the book was such an amazing like romance, like not romance novel, but like they had a great like romance in the novel, you know what I'm saying? So I think they did a great job with that in the book, and I think because they stayed true to that, they did a great job. I don't know. And I liked her relationship with her family. That was very much true to the book. After like the first night where she died, she was like she started opening up to her family a little bit more, and I like that. Yeah, and she spends a lot of time with her sister in the book and the movie as well, so that was really nice. I don't know. I just like how she opens up to her family, and they represent that in the movie as well, because it was like a little like it was kind of like a detail, but like a big thing as well. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so basically what I wanted to get across was how I felt about Before I Fall as a book and then as a movie. And I think the book was so good. I mean, it just made me feel so many things. It just made me feel like, oh, you know. And I love a book that can make you feel, and it also teaches you something really important as well. I think that's really amazing. I admire that in a book, and that's what Before I Fall did. It made me feel like, oh, so much. But it also taught me something important as well. It taught me that I need to value the things in my life, the people in my life, you know, and I thought that was a really good lesson, and they did it in a really good way. And I really liked the movie because it stayed true to the book so much, and I really admire that as well, because so many movies or TV shows are done these days, and they're based on books, but they don't stay true to the original material, and it's a little disappointing. But, I mean, it is what it is. But this, I loved. I loved how they stayed true to the original book. I loved the book, and I loved how the movie stayed true to the book. I loved that. I loved it. I don't know how else to explain it. It was just so good, and I admired how they stayed true to the book. I know they kept everything in the movie from the book, but guess what? They kept enough. They made it good. Okay. Alright, that is it for my video this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up down below. And also be sure to subscribe and turn on bell notifications so you get notified every time I post a new video. I post new videos every Saturday. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Hey, no, no.